I'm on my way back from Bryson Zion back to Las Vegas to fly home, but I made a stop in a park that doesn't get visited that often by people who aren't from the area. Very popular around here, but most people from elsewhere don't know about this place. I'm in Snow Canyon State Park, maybe 15-20 minutes from downtown St. George, Utah. It's a phenomenal place. The colors and the shapes are just amazing. I'm standing on something called one of the Petrified Dunes, and you can see all the different colors. There's greens down in the valley below. There's a white mountain range over here. All around you'll see black outcroppings, which are lava rock. The colors are just amazing. So when I get up this morning in St. George, I was actually in the middle of thunderstorms. So I sleep in a little bit. Now this thunderstorm is broken, and there's few times that are better to go out and take some pictures than after a storm is cleared. Now to make that even better, I've got a circular polarizer on my camera. The way a circular polarizer works best is when it's 90 degrees or when you're looking 90 degrees from where the sun is. So, well, if that's real difficult to find in the morning, just point at the sun, make an L with your fingers, point at the sun, and anywhere your thumb points is 90 degrees. So the sun's right there. That means if I shoot over this way, I'm going to get the strongest result out of my polarizer. Now what I can do is actually look through my camera, and as I spin the polarizer, I can see the blue in the sky getting lighter and darker. Now you do want to be a little careful. There is a such thing as over-polarizing. If it's really bright sky with really intense clouds, you can actually make the blue of the sky a little bit too deep. So just rotate it around until it looks the way you want right through your camera. Now again, I'm going to use some compositional guides here. I've got all kinds of interesting foreground stuff. I know there's some bushes and logs and things up behind me. So I'm going to put them in the foreground. That will have a foreground element into the valley, into the distant mountains, and it will just lead you into the photograph. So again, I positioned myself so that the sun is 90 degrees to where I'm going to be shooting. I'm going to be shooting off in this direction. I'm going to use this bush here as a foreground element. So we'll have this, and we've got the lines of the sandstone leading out to the mountains. Should be a really nice composition. We have these beautiful, dramatic post-storm skies that are just screaming for a photograph. Another thing to remember is don't always just shoot from this height. Sometimes dropping down a little bit, just a foot, will completely change the feeling of the image. So we've got all these elements, foreground, leading lines, mountains back there, and that has the effect of drawing you into the image, and that's what makes for a really interesting photograph. Very big difference not having these foreground elements and just having the background. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to shoot with the bush here and without, and you're going to see a big difference in the impact of the photograph. So here's our scene without having the bush in there at all. And you can see that while it's nice, it's lacking something to draw you into the scene. By simply taking a few steps off to the right and including that bush, look how much more interest it has. Now you've got the foreground element, you have the leading lines just below it that are leading you back into the landscape. And finally, squatting down and getting the bush a little closer does make it more prominent. Not sure if I like it as well. I think maybe the bush has become a little bit too strong in the composition. I think really the answer is the second one, but cropped a little bit to make that bush a little bit bigger in the scene. I'm loving this. It's just an absolutely beautiful day. And this is one of the reasons why you want to come back to places. I've been here before. I've been in solid blue skies. I've been here in storms. This is probably the nicest light that I've ever had here. So I definitely want to take advantage of it. So when you go somewhere, don't think it's something you'll cross off your list and you're never going to do it again. Because when you're lucky enough to find a place like this, well, the light changes every time you're here. So I'm going to walk around, find a couple of different elements that I can include in my foreground. I know there's some rocks, there's some gnarly branches and trees coming up out of the ground. So let's see what we can find and just take advantage of this gorgeous day here at Snow Canyon State Park.